Samsung, proud sponsor of Tech Busters.
Tech-savvy parenting, a guide to raising children, safe children in a digital world. We've got the two authors, Nikki and Arthur Goldstuck, in the studio with me. I was thinking that I would have loved to have had this book when my daughter was growing up, but they didn't have these digital problems back 19 years ago. Nikki, where did the idea for the book come from?
We're living in such a dual world today. We've got children who are on the real playground, and we have children in the new playground, the virtual playground. And for parents today, that's a big challenge because a lot of the new toys, the devices and gadgets that our children are actually playing with, we can't hear what they're doing on them. Unlike the old telephone where our parents could hear us on that phone.
Well, speak for yourself.
We can't see what they're texting. We don't know what they're doing. We are behind them in terms of where they're at with technology. So this is the first generation of parents who are not ahead of their children in terms of the prevailing technology, and that's quite a big challenge for us today because we're playing catch up.
So Arthur, I mean, you've seen this incredible evolution. I mean, you're the tech guru of South Africa, and you've seen this incredible evolution taking place, even with your research that you've been doing all of these years. But I mean, 20 years ago, there weren't any of these kind of problems. Today, there's internet, there's cyber stalking, there's cyber bullying. I don't think parents know where to start worrying about the safety of their kids.
That's absolutely correct. But if you go back 20 years and you think about the challenges facing parents then, they had to make sure their kids were safe in the physical world. And how did they do that? Not because they were trained on how to keep children safe, but because they applied common sense. So that's our starting point, in fact. It's about parenting and common sense. And when you start from that point of view and not from the point of view of, I'm terrified of this tech, then you're in a far better position. And in fact, then things start falling into place.
I think, Nikki, I mean, when you started writing this book, you know, as I'm talking to you right now, and I've written the foreword as well, which got me thinking about this. I mean, there's so many different aspects, but 240 pages, there's more than 240 pages in this book. I would just say, like, careful what you post online. Don't ever post naked photographs of yourself. Change your privacy settings in Facebook, and that's it. But there's a lot more to this digital world that we're living in.
There is, but I think, as Arthur said, keep your common sense about you.
Yes.
Because the app that you cannot buy, the safety app that you cannot buy, is your relationship with your children. And what we're finding with many parents is they're so paralyzed by their technophobia and their fear of technology that they're either saying to kids, you've got carte blanche, do what you like, or they're saying access denied. And either of those strategies is not the right one if you want to keep your children tech safe and savvy. We really do need to keep investing time in our relationship with our children, face-to-face relationship with our children, because we are the people who have to give our children the context for the ground rules. You can't just slap a child with a whole lot of rules without really getting into the why. And we provide that why because it's against the backdrop of the value system that the parents provide. And if we let them loose with technology with no value system, they have nothing against which to judge other value offerings. And today, with technology, the world can connect with your children without you being in the equation.
That's so interesting. You know, you talk about, you know, putting those guidelines down. Every parent that I know that has banned their kids from Facebook, their kids have a secret Facebook account. So you can't stop it. You know, my approach with my daughter, she was growing up, I said, do what you want. I'm your friend on Facebook as well. But I've never ever had the situation where I've had to monitor this or monitor that. But the reality is that there are tons and tons of predators out there, and your privacy is obviously going to be, you know, it could be in grave danger if you post the wrong things. But even from a job application, because the book goes one step further, is that whatever you say digitally is there for life, and that could impact on your future career.
Indeed, that's something that the two of us have discussed often, Aki, which is that what you put up on the internet stays on the internet, even if you think you've deleted it. So the key isn't to avoid posting something embarrassing tomorrow.
Yes.
The key is to, from the start, understand that anything you put up there is going to be there for life, or someone can find it if they know how to search for it. So if you come to it from that point of view of understanding the environment rather than here are the rules, then you're in a far better position. Earlier you said there were just 3 or 4 things as opposed to 240 pages. In fact, there are only 2 things. It's relationships and it's common sense. In fact, I shouldn't have told you that because now people won't have to buy the book. But that's really what the book comes down to.
Well, the book is packed with good stuff. And the reason why Arthur was smiling at me is because He's got a photograph of me in a Speedo, and I've got a photograph of him. I'm not going to say anything.
I'm trying to scrub that image from my
There was
mind.
whiskey involved. Yeah, it was a lot of whiskey involved, right? But that was a long time ago, and that was, our parents didn't have to worry about these kind of things. But the book is out for sale right now. It's available at all good bookstores. Is there a digital version of this as well that parents can download?
Yes, there is going to be an ebook. It should come out towards the end of August. So it'll be available across all platforms.
Great stuff. Well, I've got a new one for you after this. A tech-savvy guide to raising parents in a digital world, or grandparents. Give the grandparents
Good.
advice.
They'll love
on a
it
book.
too.
That's the next book.
Yeah.
This book is out right now. It's a fantastic book. If you're a parent or if you're a school teacher, anybody, and you want to dispense that incredible and important knowledge on the dangers that are out there in this digital world that we're living in for kids, this is the book to get. It's called Tech Savvy Parenting. And thank you so much to the authors who've joined us in the studio. Nikki Bush, Arthur Goldstuck, thank you for joining us on Tech Busters.